Hey, what's up guys? I'm here to share a little bit knowledge that I have about Java design patterns. Let's first start with a simple design pattern in Java, that is Singleton, as you expected. And it is one of the simplest design patterns in Java. And this type of design pattern basically comes under the hood of a creational design pattern, as this pattern provides one of the best ways to create an object. You would prefer this in many cases, like if you want to restrict the object creation of your class, you would obviously make your constructor private and get an instance of a class inside that, make it private, and you could return that instance using a public method. Let's do that on the editor so that you'll get a better clarity. I'm going to create a new class named Singleton, and basically this design pattern named Singleton involves a single class which is responsible to create an object while making sure that only one single object gets created at any time. This class provides a way to access its only object which can be accessed directly without need to instantiate the object class. So I'm going to create an object of Singleton class right here. Okay, and it should be of type private and static because it should be loaded at the runtime, and I'm just giving the type as class name, and I say it as instance, the variable name, and I just give new Singleton off and end it. So here you have an object of this class assigned to instance variable, and the next step would be to make the constructor private so that this class cannot be instantiated with any other way. So you could just say private, and the constructors would obviously not have a return type, so you can just give the Singleton and say this. So your constructor is private now, and you have this class object being assigned to a variable named instance which is of type single, and it is a private type. And the next step would be to get the object available. That's the only object available. It should be of type public because it should be accessed from outside the class, and it should be of type static because you need to access this method without even creating an object instance. So you should be able to use this method by using the class name dot the method name. So that's why I'm using static here, and you can give the class name here because the return type is of the class object, so you need to give the class name type, and you can get an instance from this method, so that suits better for the method name, and you can just return the instance variable. And also please make sure you are not having any other kind of methods, for example like a public say get instance, and it can be of type Singleton and obviously you got two names. So in returning new Singleton. Okay, this one is possible because you are inside the class and you can access the private constructor. So you shouldn't use this kind of methods inside the class once you have a public static method which can return the object using an instance variable which you just created. If you do this thing, it can get as many objects as it wants from this class because you have new Singleton, so you always get a new object. So please make sure you do not use this kind of code if you need your class to be Singleton. Okay, so now that you have created a class which has an object of you can get only single object from that class. So the next step would be to make this available in some other class where you want to use. Let's go ahead and create another class. Let's name it as Singleton test. To finish, I should have given a main method there. Public static void main. And here you can just make sure whether the private constructor thing is working or not. See, I'm just giving a Singleton type and creating an instance of it. Say I'm just giving new Singleton off, and let's see what it says. Is saying the constructor Singleton is not visible. That's because your constructor is private right here, so that's why it's happening like that. So the solution for this would be to do the same Singleton type variable, which is instance, and you could just say Singleton dot get instance of. So this is working. This would obviously return you an object of this class, which it would return this instance variable, which this instance variable is actually holding an object of this class. So you could create as many as you want these things, but it would return the same object. You could create as many as you want. So you will get the same object. You're not going to get the new object each time. So this is how the Singleton design pattern works, and in my next tutorial I'll be discussing about factory patterns. That's really interesting, and we'll have a little bit talk about that. And this is my really first tutorial, and I don't know whether I did good or bad, but just I want to share my knowledge with you guys. Hope this helps someone. Thanks a lot. Bye bye. Have a nice day.